get off duty. That's Salisbury's stake is mine.
Nothing to report right now, Knight.
Here's your holotape, Proctor. Hope the data on that thing was worth it.
Thanks. You know, it's good to see you're still in one piece. Wasn't sure what the interceptor would do to you.
You didn't expect me to survive the trip?
A device like the signal interceptor is way out of my league. I was hoping you'd make it, but I find it tough to have faith in technology I don't understand. Speaking of technology I don't understand, I'll get this holotape to Proctor Quinlan. I'm dying to find out what's on it.
What do you hope to find on there?
Whatever the Institute doesn't want anybody to know. Before we jump to conclusions, let's see what Quinlan's scribes can get off of it. I'm sure the Institute has all of their data heavily encrypted, so it's gonna take some time to crack. After that, we'll have to see what we've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe. In the meantime, your mission to recruit Dr. Lee still needs to be completed. I believe Elder Maxson gave you all of the details? Good luck, Knight.
Proctor Ingram.
I'm busy right now, Knight. You have a mission to complete.
I received word that Dr. Lee is returning to us. How cooperative do you think she'll be?
I've convinced her that the Institute is the enemy, not the Brotherhood.
Well done, Knight. As soon as Dr. Lee arrives, we'll interrogate her aboard the Prydwen. She's been under the Institute's influence for the last decade, and we can't afford to take any chances. Now, on to other matters. Thanks to the success of your reconnaissance efforts, it's time to advance our operations to the next phase. I want you to report to Proctor Ingram at the airport. She has a special project that requires your immediate attention. Once again, Knight, you don't fail to impress. Dismissed.
Proximity sensor. There's green. You're getting a 3-second ping down.
Now that we have intelligence on the
Proctor Ingram.
So, I bet you're eager to get your hands dirty on our new project. How much has Maxon told you about it?
Whatever it is, I'm sure it'll help us crush the Institute.
It will, but we've got a lot of work ahead of us first. Come on, it's this way. Unless you're blind as a bat, I'm sure you've noticed that we've been building a gantry on the tarmac. Maxon and Kells have been looking for something that'll tip the balance when we go toe-to-toe with the Institute. Now, the Prydwen might be a big beast, but she's not built for fighting. That's where our new project comes in. This storage bay full of parts is what's left of Liberty Prime. The Brotherhood used it in the Capital Wasteland as a weapon against the Enclave. It's the most advanced robot the Brotherhood has ever had at its disposal. Unfortunately, Liberty Prime was destroyed in the line of duty. I've spent the better part of the last few years piecing him back together. And if you think that was easy, try rebuilding a Protectron while you're blindfolded.
Proctor Ingram?
In order to get Liberty Prime fully operational, we're going to need your help.
No problem. I'm sure this only looks worse than it actually is.
I wish I had your confidence, because this is not going to be easy. Now, the good news is that we've got most of Prime's parts fully assembled. The bad news is that it's going to take more than a few rivets and some spot welding to get them working again. The first problem is his CPU. It's fragile. Every time we try to feed power to it, it blows itself out.
Why is the power blowing out his CPU?
Liberty Prime has a highly complex power system. A good deal of that system was damaged when he exploded. So I'm working in the dark, trying to come up with parts on my own. Luckily, you were able to convince Dr. Madison Lee to return to the Brotherhood. She was on the original build team for Liberty Prime a little over a decade ago. I've already spoken to her, but she's reluctant to work on Prime for some reason. If you could get her down here to lend a hand with his power system, we can get the big guy moving.
The Prydwen is a magnificent ship, and we're lucky to have her in our arsenal. You know those synths with the plastic faces? They creep me the heck out.
Excuse me.
I'm proud to be serving under Elder Max.
Oh god, whole half of the stick was a really bad idea. Excuse me.
Hi.
Heard you gave those muties at Fort Strong something to think about.
No matter how many battles we win, there's always another fight ahead of us.
With the vertibird. Now that's a challenge.
Hey.
If it was up to me, I'd take every feral, mutie, and synth and shoot them into space.
Attention. Tomorrow's tactical briefing has been postponed. A new time and date will be forthcoming.
Only opens with a key.
I'm eagerly awaiting Liberty Prime's completion, Knight. Return to your duties.
Elder Maxon.
Liberty Prime is the linchpin of our operation. Make certain you follow Ingram's orders to the letter. Please continue assisting Proctor Ingram in any way that you can.
Don't have the key.
Once we decrypt that intel you recovered from the Institute, we'll know a lot more about it.
Hey,
So you're the new knight I heard about. Glad to have you on the team.
excuse me, Proctor Quinlan.
Never expected Dr. Lee would return to the Brotherhood. But are there documents you wanted to turn in? Or were you here to help with a research patrol?
I found some technical...
These look rather promising. You certainly have a knack for this sort of work. Here are the caps that I promised. Remember, the Commonwealth is an almost unlimited source for these technical documents. Check every building you explore during your patrols very carefully.
Quinlan?
Ah, Knight. You have...
I've got time to assist.
Excellent. A scribe's work. Meet the scribe on the ground. Your mission is to escort and protect us. Once found...
Uh-huh.
I must commend you. Convincing Dr. Lee to return to the Brotherhood, I didn't think it was possible. Now, are you in need of treatment?
What's new, Doc?
Been out of the loop, a lot of sick and injured taking up my time. Now, if you need treatment, let me know.
Actually,
Scribes of...
Captain Cade.
How can I help you today?
Yeah. See what's wrong with me, Doctor.
All right, soldier. You'll be fine. Just tell me what the trouble is.
Haven't been hitting the chems too hard.
Glad to hear it. Anything else?
Think my rad levels are okay.
Good. Keep an eye on it, though. What else?
No bullet wounds or broken bones today.
Glad to hear it. Anything else?
Actually, never mind, Doc.
No problem. Let me know if you need anything else.
Charging into a situation,
Hands.
guns
Ready to
blazing, is a
continue
good
our
way
mission,
to get yourself
soldier?
killed.
Ready.
Roger that.
If you fry up a hunk of cram with a little Nuka-Cola, it almost tastes like food.
Lancer Captain Kells is one of the finest officers I've ever had the pleasure of serving.
The Commonwealth's a dangerous place. Make sure you gear up before you head out. Greetings, Knight.
We should stock up on supplies before we begin our next mission.
I heard that Elder Maxon got that
Excuse me,
scar on his
Dr. Lee?
face. from
If
going
you're
from
here
one
to talk
death
me into
to
working on Liberty Prime, you can forget it.
You promised you'd help us.
You're right, I did. But you neglected to mention that I'd be asked to work on Liberty Prime. I've been down this road with the Brotherhood before. Why would I make the same mistake twice?
Because we care what happens to the Commonwealth.
And we want to stop the Institute from using its technological superiority as a weapon.
You know, if anyone else wearing a Brotherhood of Steel uniform said something like that, I'd laugh in their face. But coming from you, it sounds like you actually mean it. Tell Proctor Ingram to get her scribes ready. It's going to take a hell of a lot of work to get Liberty Prime back online, but we'll get it done.
Doctor.
If it looks dead, put one more in its head for good measure. Why take the chance?
If you have them.
I'd gladly lay down my life if it keeps humanity from repeating the apocalypse.
are off to a good start. Isn't that right, Doctor?
I hope so. Prime suffered some significant damage to his memory core. I wish your people would have been a bit more careful, Proctor. The good news is that the damage isn't irreversible, and I should be able to get the power flowing into his CPU core without overloading. If your people stay out of my way, that is.
Charming, isn't she?
Sorry about that, Ingram.
Don't worry about it. We might be butting heads on a few issues, but I've dealt with worse. Besides, Dr. Lee's worth all the aggravation. We're working with one of Prime's original designers. I don't see it getting any better than that. In fact, since things are going so well, we're gonna have you start building his electromagnetic actuators.
What do the actuators do?
Pretty simple, really. The actuators are what allows Liberty Prime's arms and legs to move. Prime's new limbs are way too heavy for the simple hydraulic pistons he had in the past. We're gonna have to rip those out, construct a brand new system using electromagnets, and install them in his limbs. What we need you to do is build the actuators for us.
Now that you know what the actuators are, you need to know how to make them. These are the plans and the materials list. Don't lose them.
Now, before you get that look on your face, you'll be happy to know that we have plenty of the raw materials on that list right here at the airport. The only thing we need you to head out and find is a high-powered magnet. According to Proctor Quinlan, the best place to find one is in any of the ruined hospitals around the Commonwealth. We've already sent out a few teams to find the rest of the high-powered magnets you'll need. They should be back by the time you return.
Once you start building the actuators, we need one for each limb, so you'll need to make a total of 4. Good luck.
The last person that disobeyed Captain Kells ended up screaming rust over the bridge for Tom.
Hey.
Where do you want me?
If Elder Maxon ordered me to follow him to the gates of Cal, I'd be the first one to kick them open.
Proctor.
That's all 4 actuators. Delivered and done. Nice work.
Right on schedule. I've completed the restoration of Prime's basic functions, and he's ready to go. In fact, it's getting difficult to explain to the system why it can't move right now.
Well, as soon as my scribes get those actuators in place, we'll have his arms and legs installed in no time. Which brings me to your next assignment. It won't be long before Prime can walk and talk, but he's missing one last important element. His nukes. Without them, his offensive systems aren't operating at peak capacity.
What's Prime armed with?
Prime has 2 weapon systems, his eye laser and his nuke pack. The eye laser can target a hostile from hundreds of yards out and take it down with pinpoint accuracy. His nukes are modified Mark 28 nuclear bombs. They used to drop the things from bombers during the war. Just one of the nukes is equivalent to about 3 or 4 Fat Man shells. Basically, whatever it hits isn't getting up again. His eye laser is almost ready to go, but without nukes to load into his pack, he's fighting at less than half his capability.
Shouldn't be a problem. Just tell me where they are.
I wish I could. Prime's bomb pack is fitted for Mark 28 nuclear bombs, the same type of bombs that were dropped from aircraft during the Great War. The Commonwealth was a major staging area for the military's Air Force, so we assumed we wouldn't have trouble finding them. But since we arrived, our scouting teams haven't located a single bomb.
That's going to be a problem. Without a fully loaded nuke pack, Prime won't have the firepower to take on the Institute.
Can I build the nukes like I built the actuators?
I could build you 1,000 nuke casings, right now, but we've got nothing to put inside them. The Mark 28s have a specialized nuclear payload that requires the correct balance of fissile materials in order for them to detonate properly. In other words, I'd love to mix you a cocktail, but I'm all out of liquor. But before you give up hope, there's actually a silver lining here. Proctor Quinlan has located some records regarding a military installation, which was used as a nuclear weapons storage facility. We're fairly certain this included a stockpile of the Mark 28s. The catch is that the installation is located somewhere within the glowing sea.
What do you mean you're only fairly certain? Are they in there or not?
The glowing sea is so heavily irradiated, it's giving us echoed readings and false positives. We're just gonna have to trust the records on this one. Scribe Halen's established a communications point on the... I suggest you head out there first, and establish a signal protocol with her so that the nukes can be airlifted out once you've located them. Hopefully, by the time you've returned, we'll be ready to wake Prime up, and you can say hello. Good luck, Knight.
Rearming Prime with nukes should get him back to full fighting potential.
Can't believe super mutants were the only one.
Stay here too long, we're gonna get sick.
Well, I'm glad to see the relay didn't completely vaporize you.
The interceptor worked. It was rough, but it worked.
Amazing. And what about the serum? Did you find the serum?
Got it right here.
That's it. That's really it. All right. Let's see.
I'd advise against breathing in these
retrovirus has matured nicely. Density gradient is high. Recombinant counter-intron sequences look stable. Transcriptive exon strands have formed.
That's good.
It is. But there's only one way to know if it works. All right. Here we go. And now, we wait.
How long will it take?
I don't know. Nothing like this has ever been tried before. I'm going to rest for a while. I'm back in a few days, maybe a week, and in any event, you kept your end of our bargain. Thank you.
You want to have that talk now?
Does it have anything to do with the Brotherhood?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. This isn't a formal meeting. I simply want to clear the air. I think we may have gotten off on the wrong foot when we first met. and I feel like I owe you an apology. Expecting you to embrace the standards of the Brotherhood without having a history with us was unfair. And given that you've adjusted so well to our beliefs, I don't think I needed to push so hard.
That's very kind. Thank you.
Well, you deserve it. When I was an initiate, my sponsor was Paladin Krieg, toughest squad leader I ever served with. He was a model soldier, embodying the values every trainee was striving to achieve. Fiercely loyal, secure in his beliefs, and brave to a fault. From the moment I was assigned to his squad, I was singled out. It felt like he was pushing me harder than the rest of the team. I fought by his side for years, and we had some seriously close calls. But he never explained to me why I was treated that way.
It sounds like he was trying to motivate you.
If he was, I never got a chance to ask. After I was promoted to Paladin, and I'd moved on to my own squad, I received word that Krieg was killed at Adams Air Force Base. The news was like being kicked in the stomach. I mean, I'd lost some of my brothers and sisters before, but his death, well, it really got to me. It's taken me a long time to realize it. But the reason Krieg was so tough on me is the same reason I'm so tough on you. It's because I believe in you. And I don't want to see any of your potential go to waste.
I'm flattered that you have so much faith.
You've earned that faith by your own hand. Well, I've said what I had to say, and I hope that it meant something to you. I trust you'll keep this in confidence, of course. Some of that information was of a...
Sure. Hey.
You point, I shoot.
Paladin dance.
Yes?
Your thoughts?
Call me old-fashioned, but there's nothing better than being boots on the ground.
Your thoughts?
If we want to win the people's hearts and minds, we have to spread the word of the Brotherhood across the Commonwealth.
How do you think things are?
I haven't been able to make that evaluation yet. When I do, I'll let you know.
Didn't have anything?
Not a problem.
I'm going to get some rest.